What if everything you believe about your limits is a lie? What if the word impossible was never meant to stop you, but to test you? What if the only thing standing between you and the life you dream about is a decision you haven't made yet? Because the truth is simple. Impossible is nothing. From the moment you were born, the world started setting boundaries for you. They told you what you could do, what you couldn't do, what was realistic, and what was foolish. Slowly, quietly, without you even noticing, you accepted those limits as your own. Not because they were true, but because they were repeated. You didn't choose them, you inherited them. From parents who were afraid to fail, from teachers who played it safe, from friends who never dared to dream beyond what they could see, from a society that rewards conformity and punishes ambition. So you learn to shrink. You learn to lower your expectations. You learn to call survival success. At some point, you stopped believing in the voice inside you that once thought anything was possible. You told yourself you'd start later, that you'd try someday, that maybe this life just wasn't meant for you. And one day, you began to call that fear reality. But listen to this carefully. Reality has always been shaped by people who refuse to accept it. Every breakthrough, every invention, every victory in human history was once labeled impossible, until someone showed up and refused to agree. Flying was impossible. Breaking records was impossible. Changing your destiny was impossible, until belief met action. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. And opinions change the moment someone is willing to challenge them. Ask yourself honestly, how many dreams have you buried because someone doubted you? How many goals have you abandoned because you were afraid of failing? How many times did you stop yourself before the world ever had a chance to stop you? Most people don't fail because they can't succeed. They fail because they quit. They quit in their minds long before they quit in real life. They tell themselves they're not talented enough, not smart enough, not lucky enough. They say they started too late or that others are better. But those are not reasons. Those are excuses disguised as logic. Talent is overrated. Luck is unpredictable. Perfect timing does not exist. What matters is persistence. What matters is discipline. What matters is the ability to keep moving forward when motivation disappears. Anyone can work hard when they feel inspired. Anyone can believe when things are going well. But champions are built in moments of doubt, in moments of pain, in moments when quitting feels justified. Success is lonely. There will be days when no one believes in you, days when progress feels invisible, days when your effort feels pointless. And in those moments, most people call it impossible. But impossible is not a signal to quit. It's a signal that you've reached the edge of your comfort zone. And growth never happens there. Every level of your life demands a different version of you. The version of you that wants comfort cannot create greatness. The version of you that avoids pain cannot achieve extraordinary results. You must evolve. And evolution is uncomfortable. Look at anyone you admire. They were not fearless. They were not perfect. They were not always confident. They doubted themselves. They failed repeatedly. They were criticized, ignored, laughed at. But they didn't stop. They didn't stop when it hurt. They didn't stop when it got boring. They didn't stop when it felt unfair. They understood something most people never do. Consistency beats intensity. Doing the right thing once doesn't change your life. Doing it every day does. Right now, There is a version of you capable of achieving everything you dream about. But that version requires sacrifice. It requires discipline. It requires patience. It requires you to let go of who you are today. And that's scary, because change demands loss. Loss of comfort, loss of old habits, loss of familiar excuses. But what you gain is far greater. You gain self-respect. You gain confidence. You gain control over your life. And most importantly, you gain proof that impossible was never real. No one is coming to save you. No perfect moment is coming. No sudden burst of motivation will magically change your life. If you want something different, you must do something difficult. You must wake up earlier. You must work when others rest. You must push when others stop. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Every excuse you accept today becomes your limitation tomorrow. Every shortcut you take extends the journey. Every time you quit on yourself, you strengthen the belief that you are not capable. And beliefs shape destiny. If you believe you are weak, you will live weak. If you believe you are limited, you will stay limited. But if you believe that impossible is nothing, your actions will change. You'll show up differently. You'll think differently. You'll endure differently. And slowly, your life will follow. Confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is built by keeping promises to yourself, by showing up on the days you don't feel like it, by doing the work in silence, by choosing discipline over excuses. One day, you'll look back at the version of yourself who almost quit, and you'll be grateful you didn't listen. Everything you want is on the other side of persistence, not motivation. Persistence. Impossible is nothing to the person who refuses to quit. Impossible is nothing to the person who outworks doubt. Impossible is nothing to the person who decides that failure is not the end, but part of the process. You don't need permission to dream big. You don't need approval to chase greatness. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. And do it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. One day, people will call you lucky. They won't see the nights you struggled, the moments you doubted yourself, the times you almost gave up. They'll only see the result. But you'll know the truth. You believed when it was hard. You worked when it hurt. You stayed when it was easier to leave. Impossible was never real. It was just a test to see who would keep going. Impossible is nothing.